So, good evening, everyone. And I will be talking to you about modeling and research metaphor and style. First, the notion, deliberate metaphor, and the corpus linguistic investigation of metaphors, distribution in fiction in stylistic metaphor research. The most important aspect of metaphor revealed by the cognitive turn in the 1980s, and these have been called conceptual metaphors by G. Lakoff and Johnson in the 1980s as well. Uh, Thus, many instances of metaphor in literary and non-literary texts do not appear to be novel creations of figurative comparisons, but instead represent a familiar linguistic expression of culturally shelled conceptual model. Most of the linguistic expressions are so familiar that their metaphorical senses are listed in general dictionaries. It is also customary in metaphor research to make a distinction between these conceptual metaphors and their expression in language. An introduction to this research has been provided by Covexes in 2010. On the other hand, the conceptual structures of metaphor in thought may be typically conventional, but may also be novel. Independently, all metaphor in thought may be expressed in a range of linguistic forms, from regular metaphor and simile, analogy, extended comparison, and thematic metaphor, and text-based metaphoricity rather. I'm sorry. The conceptual structures as well as linguistic forms of metaphor may now also be seen and exhibit at least two distinctive communicative functions, and these are the communicative functions. First is a deliberate metaphor use, and the second is a non-deliberate metaphor use. Other issues in recent metaphor research include in relation between metaphor and aspects of encompassing texts and contexts. For instance, metaphors can participate in encompassing frames that are used in politics to set up discourses about politics as family life as stated by G. Lakoff, 2004. On the other hand, most of 2004 also stated that frames may develop into complete scenarios where, for instance, European politics is compared to love relationship between countries including wooing, courting, divorces, and so on. All of these affect the text in ways that go beyond style and have to do with the role of the metaphor. For instance, first narration, then argumentation, then the exposition. Such aspects of metaphor has been used also been studied as negotiated between speakers in different situations, spontaneous verbal interactions as well. This is from C. Cameron 2008. Eventually, all of this stylistic and non-stylistic analysis of metaphor need to be related to a general model of disclosure events to make them fully comparable across cases. And this is stated by Steen 2011. So that was it. That was it. Sorry. Excuse me. That was it. Modeling and researching metaphor and style. Thank you.